Good morning, boys. Today is February 11th, and just a little bit from our reading today from the Psalms. And this was Psalm 33. And there's something that I've come across and used pretty frequently, actually. It's something that helps in your prayer life or just in resetting yourself a little bit, asking yourself these three basic questions. Where did I come from? Who am I? And where am I going? Again, that's a help to resetting your expectations, maybe, or your perspective on your life at the moment. And this psalm has some of that. It's sometimes called the creation psalm, but a psalm of orientation or reorientation here as well. But in Psalm 33, verse 6, it says, "The Lord merely spoke, and the heavens were created. He breathed the word, and all the stars were born. He assigned the sea its boundaries and locked the oceans in vast reservoirs. Let the whole world fear the Lord, and let everyone stand in awe of him. For when he spoke, the world began. It appeared at his command." Again, this is helpful, I think, in our prayer life, or even just when we need perspective to realize where we came from. And the fact that God is above and beyond everything else. It was He that spoke and the world began. It all appeared at His command. And then, so the right response to that is the sentence before that, let the whole world fear the Lord and let everyone stand in awe of Him. And sometimes when we get our perspective rightly attuned to who God is, to His vastness, to the fact that He has the entire world in His hands, that He spoke and it was created, it all belongs to Him, that helps us to remember that we're not as big or important or even as responsible as we might think that we are. Not everything depends on us. We aren't in control of everything. We don't get to have that kind of influence on the world. And so that puts us in a place of dependence and a place of recognition that really it all belongs to God. And when we need help, we need to cry out to Him and reset ourselves as the small, little, insignificant things that we are in front of Him. Insignificant in one sense, of course, but then also significant in the fact that He loves us and that He calls us to be His own. So if we're thinking about where do we come from, and then who am I, the second question we can answer with, I'm a child of God, I'm adopted into His family, I'm an heir to all that is His, I am beloved by Him, and I'm an ambassador for Him. All those things of value and significance that He invests into us, particularly after we know to whom we belong. And then, where am I going is another good question to ask yourself. Where am I going? Well, eventually to eternity. Pastor Chris says that if you ask him on a bad day, how is he doing? He'll say something like, well, my sins are forgiven. I'm going to heaven. And that's a good perspective to have, even when things don't seem like they're going right. Ultimately, they will be right for eternity. And so we can rest in the fact that everything that we're experiencing is temporary, and no matter how long it lasts, it won't be nearly as long as eternity in God's presence. And so we have something to look forward to that gives us hope and helps us to reset ourselves in times of bad perspective for our lives. All right, that's the thought for today.